just north of the Oklahoma border. We are just south of Wellington, Kansas. And what you're looking at in the shot is a storm that just formed rapidly 40 minutes ago. Okay, got it. I saw a tornado near Mulvane in 1991. That was after Red Rock, about a month after. I think it might have been May 26th. It's all going to depend on that battery as well. Actually, it's going to depend on the strength of the storm, whether it pulls that battery back up there or not. I-35 is actually taking us where we need to go for the time being. Let me look and see. We got it plugged in, but let me check the tracker. It's forming another lowering, as a matter of fact. It's forming a lowering now. right underneath the base. Can you pull our GPS and plug it back in?
So 4 miles till you get to an exit, and that's going to be.
We're booting it.
That's going to be 3 miles south of Highway 81.
We're booting it. Forming a new lowering right there. Just hit the battery. Watch to see what our temperature does. It's 93. We have our exit here. We're turning, getting off on, looks like KWTV exit.
Do you see a boundary?
Our temperature has dropped to 87. Okay, great. We just got off at the Mulvane exit. And get ready to head east. Okay, and there's a pretty decent lowering just to our east. You'll see it in just a second when we turn that direction.
I was going to tell you, Val, there's another boundary here. You see that?
Yep.
Dew point's over here in the 60s. Over here, they're mid-70s. So you might want to watch that boundary. It extends from Conway Springs down south, and it's, I mean, visible from Wichita down to Mumford. All right, we just turned east.
Yeah, I mean,
Highway
the
53.
storm went up at the right spot. It was south of the boundary. It went up fast and hard. The battery interacted with it. The battery is south of it now. Our temperature went from 93 to 86. So, you know, the battery is about 3 miles, 4 miles south of here. So it's close enough that the storm can still possibly interact with it, but the battery is moving pretty quick, so I don't know. We'll see.
Well, enough to see.
So we are traveling east right now. We are on Highway 53, maybe 3 miles west of Mulvane, Kansas. And you're looking at the base of the storm right there. It's got some, I call it ragged lowerings with it. The base is kind of ragged looking. A lot of motion. As soon as we get under it, we'll be able to check for any rotation, but I don't think there's any low-level inflow into it.
Definitely see that rain shaft there. Probably some big hail in that as well.
Probably is.
There's those towers I was talking about.
Okay.
They're not too big yet, but definitely need to watch that for sure. So this base, see how it extends down to the southwest?
Yep, I see.
It's going to continue to propagate toward that boundary.
Okay, let's go south right here. I think this is a paved road. And there's a river in our way to the east. It almost looks like this thing might be moving due south. Okay, there is movement. And watching the base, it's got disorganized lowering in the base. Earlier, maybe 15 to 20 minutes ago, we saw what could have been a possible funnel. It really looked like a funnel. Lasted a couple minutes. And that was right when it was interacting with the boundary. Still 84 degrees here.
Yeah. All right. Location update. We are 1 mile southwest of Mulvane, and right now we're southbound. This is going to be.
I do see some weak rotation. Well, you know, there is some weak rotation.
Okay.
In it. It'll end up that night. Pretty good rising motion. Stop and pointing. Next place, stop and turn that direction. Right here.
House is roof cam?
Yes.
Still connected?
Yeah. It's not turned on, but it's. Every time I try it, it's not working.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna pull off right.
Even when you reconnected that box?
Yeah.
Okay.
The box issue was the anemometer.
Look at that corn. Wow.
That's a lot of tall corn right there.
Tall cornfields up here. All right. right, so oh wow, look at that rotation.
Yeah, it is rotating.
It's
for sure.
really high up there, but you can see it. I'm gonna just leave it there so you can kind of watch. Definitely have left to right movement there.
So the base, I wonder what's going on in that other base further.
That would be the storm further east.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all behind the boundary.
The base is a little on the high side, I guess you could say, and that's due to the fact that the outflow boundary is kind of surged out ahead of it, but it is rotating. So there's a meso, there is rotation. It's kind of weak rotation in the base, which is up a little high. I see clouds at that level streaming into it from the south to the north. Man, look, I think the rotation's getting a little bit stronger. Yeah, we're clearly north of the boundary, so if it's gonna do anything, it's gonna have to kind of create its own environment here. But look at the rising motion there.
Wow.
So once again, what we're looking at is south of Mulvane, Kansas. Just a few miles straight south of Mulvane is where that lowering is.
What's the quickest way across the river? Is that going to be here? There's always a river in the way.
Seems like it. It'd be better to go down here and over.
Belle Plaine.
Yeah.
Wow, that's far.
No, it's only 2.5 miles. And it's moving kind of in that direction, and we'd be in the rain if we went too far, but I think we're good. Okay, we're gonna continue on south. There's a shear funnel over there.
Is it rotating? I do see it.
Would not be surprised if we see more shear funnels. There it is. Get your zoom up on that.
This is just a shear funnel. It's not in the right spot, but
It has no chance of coming to the ground.
yeah, it's spinning.
It is spinning for sure.
That could be like the old occluded updraft there.
Yeah, very well could be, and it's to the northwest of the main updraft base. Hail size indicated is 1.25.
Well, that's definitely gotten round.
Yeah. That was earlier. I'm just going back and looking at it.
Oh, right, yeah. Before it gusted out, yeah. Yeah, that may have been a funnel we saw initially.
I think it was.
We were probably, what, 5 or 6 miles away?
I was going to estimate maybe 7 or 8. See that? What that is.
Is that now?
Yeah.
See this right here? Looks like it's really reaching out toward the instability off to the southwest. So I kind of notice, you know, there's a little kink in that boundary. You can see that it's really trying to reach out and grab it. Southwest.
We have an east road just up here, just less than half a mile. We're gonna go east, get under the base. So the boundary south of us, but it's not that far. That tower down there looks like it's going up good.
I mean, it could be going up on that boundary I was telling you about, the north-south one.
Do you think that might be a dry line? I mean, I didn't know there was supposed to be.
Well, if you look at Mesonet, you can kind of see a little bit of a wind shift there. And, of course, the point differences.
This thing is trying its best to reach the instability. guys a shot of the base again here. So the boundary out ahead of it, 5 miles maybe, and it continues. It kind of is growing to the south. It's kind of reaching out for that air, basically. But we see it. Hold on a sec.
Man, there is a lot of movement.
A lot of movement. Okay, so we're watching the base.
Wow, the rotation is really strong. It's just high up there. Do you have a way to pull off?
Yeah, I'm gonna find the next pull. So, you know that the storm jet evidently still has. Yeah, go ahead.
Be a funnel. Is that spinning the wrong way?
Oh, right there, right there. We got a funnel. We got a funnel.
Look over here for debris. I see a lot of wind right over there.
Wow. Wow.
Look at this.
We got a funnel. We got our shot. It's almost right above us.
Look for debris.
There's debris?
I said look for debris.
We're looking for debris. There's a funnel above us. Straight above us. We're looking almost straight above us. It's angling back towards the southeast.
Wow, I've never looked straight up at a funnel before.
Yeah, that thing is spinning. We're like right below it. Yep. Yeah, if you're recording on that, that was definitely a better funnel than the first one. We are a lot closer, obviously. This thing is spinning. Oh. I guarantee if this had...
I see debris over there.
Okay.
You see it?
Yes, I do. There's dust being raised up on the ground. The way this thing was angled, it almost looks like that We were looking for an area that it might have touched down, and there's dust.
It's over there.
Okay.
See it?
Yep,
In the
I
field?
see it. I see it.
Okay.
There's debris. It's hard to really see it.
I'm gonna zoom way up on that. You have defrost?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, there's something going on in that field.
Okay. Could be possibly a circulation on the ground. There's a small area of dust.
Okay. Well, we need to move so that we can see.
That's gone, whatever that was. I don't see it. Let's just wait a minute. I see something right there. Just to the right of the road.
Yeah.
Just to the right of the road. You see it?
Will you hit your wipers?
I mean, there's dust being lifted here, but I don't know if it's rotating. Might be. Look at that.
It's anticyclonic rotation. Looks like. Did you see that spin?
Yes. It's Udall. Yeah. Yes, I mean, we're looking a quarter of a mile from us. We are 2 miles southwest of Udall.
See about this.
Yeah. And there was kind of a very weak dust whirl, a couple of areas of weak dust whirl on the ground, kind of where that funnel would have come to. But I mean, it was real weak and hard to see. So we're looking northeast. I'm turning because it's gone now, and we're going to go back to the south and follow this because it's almost like it was trying to occlude, almost like an occluding mezzo above us.
Someone reported that funnel cloud. Someone did.
Somebody did. Yeah, I mean, that was a legitimate funnel, and we are under, so I don't know how far extending to the ground. I would say a third of the way down, maybe. But if you just, extend that circulation from the end of that funnel, clear air, it looked like to me that there was at least a very, very weak turning on the ground beneath it. So weak. I mean, no, it's never going to be reported as a tornado. That hard. There was a weak circulation beneath the funnel that was on the ground. Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Bus south pretty quick because I can see some stuff, but we're right under it, and I just can't see very well. So we got to get out ahead of it.
Are you seeing rotation? Dust whirl was rotating.
I don't know if it was an illusion, but it almost looked like it was rotating the wrong way, but maybe it was just...
Sometimes it's real hard to tell when you don't have a lot of it, a lot of dust. I mean, it could be. Very easily could be.
Do you see anything back behind your left shoulder? I can't.
Nope. definite movement going on, and we need to keep going south. And it was almost right above us again. That's the old mesa. If there's going to be a new one, I mean, if there is in this area, but that's still current. So I can feel our north wind picking up a little bit too.
By the river.
We are down by the river.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think that's still our area right there. At least for the time being. Oh, where's the other guy? Once we get to that, we'll back up a mile together.
County road.
so far with this storm. Legitimate funnels. On one of them, and was maybe a third of the way to the ground, but there was very, very weak dust whirl on the ground where the funnel would have extended to. Can't really call it a tornado, but it was just not very definitive in that regards. But I'm really thinking that was kind of an extension of the circulation from that funnel.
Wow, look at all that corn.
What's that?
Look at all the corn.
Yeah, it's all corn.
I'm used to seeing weeds, so I get excited when I see corn.
Yeah, that's something you see in like East Kansas too. Alright, so we're at our South Road here.
So we're very near the Arkansas River. Most of these back roads have a lot of sand. And I guess it's a good place to grow corn.
Well, it's fertile floodplain. So this area over here is very possible. It could be a new updraft base trying to form. And it definitely is closer to the boundary and to the good area.
there are some storms that are southeast of Bartlesville, but yeah, this whole complex is kind of slowly moving your direction. So this evening, just keep watch. So far, everything looks undercut, but you know, as you saw, we can have funnels that develop pretty high-based funnels. But I'm kind of noticing an area where it looks like the gust front wraps in, and that's going to be kind of north of Sedan. Moline.
What's going on back to the north here?
And so all of that is moving southeast towards Caney, like Copan, on down the road, Coffeyville. So in those areas, definitely want to kind of watch that area because that's kind of where that gust front wraps in. And not that it's going to produce a tornado, but if there were going to be one, that would have more inflow to work with for sure. What are you looking at? That over there?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's trying to lower there again.
That's the lower.
Find a nice wide open spot here.
So, you know, one thing is when the sun sets, you kind of get that a low-level jet, and so it's possible we might get, you know, something like that happen where that boundary tries to pull in. So we're very near Oxford, which is very near the boundary. I think it's just a little bit south of this. And in this area, you can kind of see a kink in the boundary itself, and you can tell that the storm is, you know, pretty strong and trying to pull it in. Although even though it looks pretty far out, this area here is just really, really trying to reach out and grab that instability that's south of it. So it's kind of interesting to watch how that happens. So it'll lower like this, start rotating, and then, as we had earlier, we had a funnel develop. It happened pretty quick, so we need to watch and see what happens here. Just mainly see a left to right movement with that, but
That's interesting, isn't it?
it is.
I mean, it's definitely strengthened.
Yeah.
And you can see the rising motion going on there with that scud. And that whole big lowered area. You can almost call that a wall cloud.
Yeah, crazy.
And we have a south road here too. So, I mean, that is still the main mezzo. There's still a lot of movement going on here in the west as well, just west of us, under this other part of the base, but that's still the main mezzo right there. It's all moving north to south. Obviously, it's kind of getting pushed along with the outflow, but boy, that whole thing's got a little bit of sense of rotation with it, maybe just a little.
Yeah, definitely from the mid-levels for sure. Look at that scud rising.
Oh yeah.
So when we say it's undercut, what we mean is it's got north winds pushing out ahead of it way to the south, a few miles. And so it's just not getting inflow from the east-southeast. But it is in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, so that's how you get these rotating supercells that produce large hail and strong winds, and they can even produce funnels. But at the surface, it's really hard to get those funnels to come down to the surface just because the winds at the surface are not conducive for rotation at all, just because it's what we say undercut or outflow dominant. Yeah, we're back light again. Those of of you that were asking, we just had a few seconds of video from earlier that they wanted to record back at News 9. And so we played that. But yeah, this is live now. 8:34 p.m. Sun is probably about to set, or it has. There's too many clouds in the way. So it's going to get pretty dark here pretty quick. So it's always difficult after dark.
We are heading south now. Just kind of watching this base of the storm over here to our east. And it almost looks like they're trying to get a new base, trying to form to our southwest, but it hasn't really done it yet, so I'm not sure it's going to.
Yeah, it's been struggling. live streams out there where they try to incorporate different features on the video, but for our purposes and what we do, working for News 9, that's just not really how we do it. Right now we're northwest of Hackney, Kansas. Still following east. I feel like they peak out.
What's that?
I think peaking.
Yeah, visually, I mean, I'm not looking at radar right now, but visually it looks like it's weakened.
I will say further east, it definitely looks stronger. Like near Longton and Oak Valley. Looks like that gust front wraps in over there. That's way far east from where we are. North of Longton would be an area to watch for sure. We generally stay pretty close to our viewing area. We decided to come into Kansas because it didn't look like much was going to happen in northern Oklahoma. But we're still pretty close, so we can catch something if it did. There's still a little bit of the storm left near Oologah, Foyle, Sequoia. That's going to be in the Tulsa market. So they're probably covering that from Tulsa. Our sister station, KWTV, Channel 6.
Not very many.
Right. Now, lately,
actually,
we've seen quite a few up north.
We've seen tornadoes in every month, haven't we?
I'm sure we have.
I mean, I know I saw one in January a couple years ago, and so we had not seen one in January until that time, and that was 3 or 4 years ago. We've seen them in December too, right?
Yeah. Remember the Christmas tornado? What was that?
It's hard for me.
Yeah, it's hard for me too. There was a year when we had a tornado, like, was it January 2nd? They called it the Snow-nado. It was really weird. Like,
we didn't see it.
No, we didn't see it, but I mean, there was
one in Miami a couple years ago in January, like January 3rd.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, yeah.
But I'm saying, what about December? I know we've seen them in December. I just can't remember what the circumstance was. So yeah, every month, but definitely could happen in July. You know, I was reminded by somebody at church the other day that Stillwater had a tornado on June the 13th, 1975. It was a pretty big tornado. Did a lot of damage. And it came from the northwest. It was a northwest low.
Oh, yeah. job for Val in 1991, and I joined him in 1998. You know, we started out before live streaming on the internet was a thing, and so all of our chasing career has been exclusively through News 9 and broadcasting information to the news station. So we work a little differently than what you would call online streamers today, because our sole priority is through the news station. But other storm chasers definitely stream in the field for online purposes, which we just started moving to YouTube to stream as well. Just in this last year, we've been wow, that's pretty cool. We've been posting videos on YouTube for probably 10 years, but this is the first year we've actually been live on YouTube. We used to do Facebook Lives. We started back in 2016 when Facebook allowed us to do kind of a beta trial as they were launching the live videos through Facebook. And our first tornado that we streamed on Facebook was Dodge City back in 2016. That was May 24th, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, that was, or was it May 4th?
I don't remember the exact date, but
they all start running together.
On that.
Yeah, so we had a lot of viewers, and it was pretty exciting.
And I think our Facebook has around 170,000 viewers.
Yeah, so we have a lot more followers on Facebook. So streaming live on YouTube is just kind of new, just kind of a new thing we're doing. But anyway, that's kind of why we don't really have a whole lot of subscribers here, but through the news station, I know you asked too, we don't typically chase all over the country like some do, because our DMA is in Oklahoma, so we stay pretty close just to keep our news station covered and the counties that provide coverage, or News 9 provides coverage for those counties. So yeah, our job is a little bit different than a lot of the other storm chasing.
And working for Channel 9 is to inform our viewers of dangers. So people watch Channel 9, and David Payne, our chief meteorologist there, he's got the StormTrackers, and we all give him information. We're basically his ground truth, so that he can warn the viewers that there's danger headed their way. So our number one priority is to try to keep people safe in really bad weather. We also, you could say, the number two priority is to get exciting video as well. So that's kind of a byproduct of what we do. Get good exciting video so people watch it at the same time. But what we found and what they found is that if we could do a live stream and show a tornado that's actually happening, people tend to go to shelter quicker. If we're just telling them, hey, there's a tornado a mile west of your house, a lot of people don't really believe that, but people actually act a lot more when they see it, and they see what it is, and then it really hits home for them. So that's more of a ground truth type thing.
The storm really hasn't changed much, so that's why we're not really doing a whole lot of updates here. The boundary's so far out ahead.
Yeah, we're just kind of taking a tour of rural southern Kansas right here. And look at the striations.
Yeah.
Even over there, too. Notice.
It's like, the trees. Believe it or not, they have trees.
that. We also have sponsors, and our main sponsor is Belter Roofing. And we just want to give a shout out to Belter Roofing and say thank you for sponsoring us. Is the logo on there right on our screen?
Yes. Oh, you mean the new one? Or?
I don't think. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
That's the Belter Roofing logo in the bottom right. They also put the logo on the live television when we do streaming on television as well.
So since the weather is kind of calmed down, before we go, you guys, if you have questions, you can ask. We don't always have time for question and answer session, but we're always happy to. So we started out our day going to church. We have kids and we went to church. We have a bus ministry, and so picked up kids on the bus. That's something Val loves to do. Hey, look, there's some wheat harvest.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that's what we did this morning. Love our church family.
And then we got the call by Jed to watch for the storms, cover it. So we decided to come up north. And I'll tell you what, this storm went up ahead of the boundary. We can see the outflow boundary moving south from earlier storms. And this storm went up ahead of the boundary and it exploded. It went up hard. And so we decided it's probably best to get on it because it's going to be interacting with the boundary. And if it's strong enough, funny things happen when strong storms interact with the boundary. It became a supercell, produced big hail, and produced 2 funnels that we know of, that we actually saw. So pretty strong storm and stronger than anticipated today for sure.
So Faux Pinky. You guys have funny names on here. But anyway, she says she feels safer. She saw our coverage in 2013 of El Reno. Okay, so yeah. Boy, that was a really crazy day in our chasing career for sure. That was the day some storm chasers lost their lives, and you know what's crazy about that day is it was just an unusual storm that was really hard to predict its character, and you know, we came on to the storm from the north. We had to punch the core, and when we came out, we were right there on the circulation. The tornado was right in front of us, but it began growing so fast at a rapid rate that we just had to back up, and there wasn't even time to turn around. We were just driving backwards at like 55 miles an hour. It was crazy, but you know, it was just absolutely intense, and so we sort of had to bail south for a while and then continued east, but that was a very crazy storm, to say the least.
Yeah.
2013 on May 20th was also devastating for more. We tracked that tornado as well, and so really tough year in 2013. Even the day before, May 19th, was the Kearney tornado. That storm developed near Edmond and produced a tornado, did damage throughout town, and hit a hospital, and then went on to produce a really strong tornado that leveled homes near Kearney. So we've had a lot. We even tracked the F5 tornado May 3rd of 1999. That was about 1 month before our wedding. So that was the first F5 that we ever tracked, all the way from Surreal, Oklahoma, down by Lawton, and tracked it all the way to 149th in May, where we ran out of gas and ran into damage.
Ran into David Payne.
And ran into David Payne. He was working for
Not
Channel 4.
literally. We just
Well, yeah.
we just came across David. He's in the same boat we were. We couldn't get through because of damage, blocked roads and damage.
Yeah. anything like that. I mean, it's crazy what people say, but anyway, yeah, that was May 3rd was our first. Our second would have been was that 2011, the Piedmont tornado that developed at I-40. And
so yeah, that developed down by Hinton.
down by Hinton, crossed I-40. We were right on that bridge, and we decided to bail. And it went right over that bridge.
And it was rain wrapped. It went right across I-40 and decided to turn right and travel down I-40 just a little bit at that point.
Yeah,
And
we
it
were
was
on the
that
bridge
high.
watching, and we noticed that it looked like it was coming right at us, and I was like, okay, it's time to leave. But because it did, it turned right, but then it took a left turn again, and I remember seeing Jim Gardner in helicopter with Channel 4 that day, right very near Piedmont, right in the inflow notch of that storm, and that was scary.
It wasn't very high off the ground.
He wasn't very high off the ground.
That tornado, right there on Northwest Highway there, kind of not that far from Piedmont where it crossed, it knocked a train caboose, that somebody had a train caboose in there on their property right there.
Oh, yeah.
The weak side of that tornado knocked that train caboose over. And so it was knocked down towards the south. It was not even the strong side of the tornado.
So Rifter asks, how many cameras do we have on our vehicle? It depends on the day. And if they're working or not. Sometimes we use a GoPro. Sometimes we have a dash cam that is a Sony camera that shoots out the front of the dash. That's the one that you're looking through now. You can switch to a roof camera that is a night vision camera, and it can turn 360 degrees and shoot in any direction, which is great. And it has nighttime capabilities, so that's a really great feature. But that's pretty much all I can handle, other than if we use our cell phones and some, sometimes. But if I get too many cameras running at once, and then I'm trying to navigate and trying to look at radar, and we typically try to have as few gadgets as possible, just so that we can really focus on what we're doing. It's easy to get very distracted if you have too much, and it's tempting to have more, just because there's iPads, and I mean you can have so many screens in front of you, but it can really make it a little bit dangerous. So we have radar. So yeah, we don't have a whole lot of cameras, but we have enough what we need. So yeah, it is a slow night. Looks like our storm that we've been tracking is weakening. I feel like my radar is old on here.
I'm looking at mine. I mean, mine's up to mine's old.
I think Wichita radar went down, maybe. I think I saw someone say that earlier.
Not a good day for the radar.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Okay, I switched to Vance. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's aggravating when you look at old radar. It's like, well. So over by Arc City, just east of there, that entire area, they've
outflow is pretty much surged out far enough to where it's really cut off the inflow to the storms. And so as a result, the storm is